All right, we're back. Alex Barth, Evan Lazar, if you want to do the Chris Collinsworth slide in here. There you go. Well done, sir. Patriots are on the clock again, trading up with the Indianapolis Colts to 50. So the expectation is they moved up 14 spots. I think safe to assume they've traded the 64th pick. Irv Smith still on the board, Evan?
Irv Smith, Zach Allen, Will Greer. All these things are possibilities at this point. I really, though, until we see this pick, just want to hit on JoJuan Williams one more time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I think that there's some outrage about a second-round defensive back, again, for the Patriots. I'm telling you right now that I don't know if JoJuan Williams is going to be, a great pro. I don't know what his career has in store for him. But he's a really good player on tape and a guy that was really a consensus top 5 corner by the end of this process for most teams on their boards. And once all those corners started to roll off there in the beginning of the second round, I mean, this guy was right in the mix with all of those guys. He's a really good player that they've loved for a long time. And if you love a player that much, you take them, you go up and you get them, and you trust your scouting and you trust your scouting department. And I think that's what the Patriots have to do. Now, I will say this, though. They took a wide receiver in N'Keal Harry. Now they took a second-round corner in JoJuan Williams, 2 positions at 2 different spots of the draft that they not necessarily had the best of luck with in the past. So this does have, a little stinky feel of it in terms of that. You look at where they picked wide receivers early in the past or where they picked corners early in the past. That hasn't necessarily been great, the results.
So if you guys have thoughts on the pick, thoughts on the upcoming pick, put those in the chat. We'll get to them. Before we get into this pick specifically, something we didn't talk about much this weekend, but it's certainly been a conversation, is this is another draft for the Patriots. They've had a couple the last couple of years. Are you focusing on now? Or are you focusing on the future? Are you drafting guys for the post-Tom Brady era? Are you drafting guys to capitalize on the window? And I think through the first 2 picks, the Patriots made it very clear. They're not worried about the future.
No.
They are focusing on winning now and capitalizing on Tom Brady's window.
I mean, they had legitimate holes on the team. They needed more weapons on offense. I mean, they weren't gonna go into the season with the guys that they had in the wide receiving group and tight end group as their, finished depth chart, finished product. That wasn't gonna happen. I mean,
are the Vikings are picking now? I thought this was supposed to be the Patriots.
No, not. I don't know what's happening now.
So we jump in, we pop on Twitter.
We'll figure it out. The Patriots are not even on that ticker, so.
Is he going to say it got traded? So the Vikings just picked Irv Smith at 50.
Yeah, so I think that there was some confusion about the player and the pick here. Obviously, maybe people thought the Patriots were moving up into this.
Did the Patriots just trade for Kyle Rudolph?
No, I don't think so. But from Rap Sheet here, that the Patriots were choosing between N'Keal Harry and JoJuan Williams at 32. And they got both players. So they got both guys that they wanted at 32. Got to trust your scouting at that point and just hope that you got it right. I mean, if those 2 guys are the 2 guys that you like that much, then that's what you got to go with. I think we got duped on the Patriots trading up again.
That's the second time that's happened in like 5-6 picks. So now Irv Smith is gone. So now what are we looking at?
Well, I think we could talk about Kyle Rudolph.
I mean, is it a possibility?
I mean, you draft another tight end in Irv Smith at some point in time. You gotta think that could be Kyle Rudolph's replacement, right? I mean, I think it's a possibility.
How far does Jay Sternberger? I'm sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on everything and figure out what happened. How far does Jay Sternberger fall?
I think Jay Sternberger was always going to be a late second, early third round pick. I think they could, if they want to jump up again now to just make sure that they get the guy. If they do like Jay Sternberger a lot, then I could see that. But I could also see them trying to wait this out and seeing if he just falls to their laps. I had him at 73 in my final mock to the Patriots in the beginning of the third round. I don't think that, I think end of the second, early third is kind of where he was going in most, assumptions. Obviously, we'll see what happens.
If you guys have any thoughts on kind of what's going on, throw them in the comments. We are getting ready. You can see behind us, they're setting up for Joe Juwan Williams to speak to the media, so we'll hop off when that begins. I feel like this has to be a disappointment to the Patriots, though. Although we've said a couple times tonight, it depends what happens with Chase Sternberger.
Yeah, I mean, I listen. They obviously have a plan. I don't think that it's necessarily a huge disappointment. I liked Irv Smith a lot, but he didn't necessarily check some of the boxes that they look for at tight end. He certainly didn't have the size and athletic profile of what they would like at a tight end. That Chase Sternberger definitely fits their mold a little bit more, a little bit taller, and a little bit quicker. But I think that overall, I mean, I don't think that this is like disastrous or anything like that they didn't end up with Irv. Now, if Jay Sternberger goes,
so that's what I'm saying. If Jay Sternberger goes, then what are we looking at? And there's some teams that are going to need tight ends.
Then I think that you're looking at, what I think you're looking at? I think you're looking at the possibility of them picking another wide receiver instead of a tight end and trying to build this offense around wide receivers.
You got Cincinnati coming up. Tyler Eifert's certainly no sure thing. Where are we at here? I'm trying to lost my place. You got Cincinnati coming up. You got Houston coming up. You got teams that might pick tight ends here coming up.
Yeah.
So we will see. And, that's right. The Patriots aren't at 56 anymore, so they got a ways to go.
Yep.
Who is this?
Don't say it. It's Eddie George.
Eddie George rocking the Steve McNair jersey, the better Titans jersey.
Yeah.
The new ones are not great. Oh, this is the hometown pick, too. Those old Titans uniforms are so good. Shame they changed them. All right, so Patriots did not end up trading up.
No, so my guess is that there was some cross-communication of the Patriots maybe competing to trade up for Irv Smith, and then they ended up backing out.
So since that's the case, we're actually going to jump off. We'll come back before Pick 64. Evan Lazar, Alex Barth from Gillette Stadium. Stay posted when we go live again. Follow at Patriots CLNS on Twitter.